Let's see Leetcode problem 75 sort color. So we will discuss here two approaches. First is brute force approach and second is optimal approach. Okay, we will discuss here 3-pointer approach, which is an easiest approach to solve this problem. So let's get started. Let's see the Leetcode problem 75 sort colors. This is a medium level problem. Description is given that given an array nums with n objects colored red, white or blue, sort them in place so that objects of the same color are adjacent with the colors in the order red, white and blue. We will use the integers 1, 0 and 2 to represent the color red, white and blue respectively. Okay, let's see the example is here 2 comma 0 comma 2 comma 1 1 and 0. If we sort this, this will look like this 0 0 1 1 2 2. Okay, we have to don't use the sort function library. Okay, so let's see the approach and let's understand the problem on paper pen. Let's understand the problem. The problem says that arrange means sort this array into ascending order, means that they directly don't say the ascending order, but here we have to sort in ascending order and we cannot use the sort library function. Okay, we cannot use this. Okay, so we will see here approach. So we will use 3-pointer approach, means the we will take the kth element, means k pointer at the last and I pointer at the starting and j pointer at the starting. Means we have to put the 2 element at the last, 1 at the center and 0 at the starting. Means we have only 1 comma 2 comma and 0. These 3 integers only we have to sort. Okay, 3 and negative numbers are not present in this array. Okay, so we will take here I equal to 0 and j equal to 0 and n is the length of array. Okay, nums dot length and k equal to n minus 1 means last element. Okay, so we will use here while loop. Into while loop, j should be less than equal to k. Okay, and we will check here condition if nums of j equal to 0. If it is equal to 0, so we will swap with I. Okay, I is also at starting. Okay, so I is means 0, k is 2 and j is 1. Okay, means I should be 0, j should be 1 and k should be 2. Okay, so now we will use your swap function. We will create swap function afterwards. Okay, swap nums array of I comma j and simply increment I and increment j. Okay, I will dry run and explain this code once again once I will write this code completely. Okay, so we will use here else if nums of j equal to 1. So simply increment j. Okay, because j is 1, right? J is 1, so we will increment j, nothing will happen. Okay, and else if nums of j equal to 2, then 2 should be at last stage, so we will swap I and j and k. Okay, else swap nums array comma j comma k. Okay, and k will be decremented. Okay, so here is also one curly bracket. Okay, so we will create here one swap function, public void swap. Okay, integer array, we will take here array nums. Okay, and coming element will be int x and int integer y. Okay, so we will take here normal 3 steps of swapping of number. Okay, int temp, then take temp equal to nums of x, then into nums of x we will take the value of nums of y, and into nums of y we will take the value of temporary variable. Okay, so this simple is the problem. It says medium problem, but I have made this easy. So we will understand the approach, how it works. Okay, if you can see here j. Okay, if nums of j equal to 0, here it is not equal to 0, so this part will not execute. It is not equal to 1, so this part will also not execute. Nums of j equal to 2, no, 0 is not also there, 1 is not also there, so it will run the else part. Okay, then j and k will be swapped and k will be decremented. Okay, so at the swap function the k and j will be swapped. Okay, so it array looks like now k will become starting and all elements will remain same and 2 will go at last. Okay, and simply I and j will not any cause issue, and k will be decremented by 1, so k will come here. Okay, now once again we will run the loop. Now nums of j means nums of j equal to 0. Yes, now it is 0. Okay, then we have to swap the I and j. Now here I and j at the same place, so nothing will happen. Simply increment I and j. Okay, now I and j pointers are here. Okay, once again it will loop will be executed and nums of j equal to 0. Yes, here also it satisfies condition. Okay, so it will swap I and j. Now I and j at the same place, so after swapping here remains 0 or no change in array. Okay, now simply increment I and j. Okay, now I and j pointer is at index number 2. Okay, this is index number 1 0 1 2 3 4 and 5. Okay, these are index numbers. Okay, these are index numbers. Okay, index numbers. So now we will run again loop. If 0 no, nums of j equal to 1 no, then again it will run the else loop. Okay, else loop says that swap the j and k, because j is 2 no, at 2 should be in sorted ascending order, it should be at last, so k and j will be swapped, and now our array will look like this: 0 0 1 1 2 2. Okay, now simply decrement k. Now k will come here and I is here and j is here. Okay, once again the loop will run. Okay, now j is smaller than k, right? So j is equal to 0. No, now j is equal to 1. Yes, equal to 1, so we will increment j. J pointer will come here. Okay, now this is not pointer, this is j pointer. Okay, now I once again loop will consider j equal to k. Yes, equal to k, and once again this will part not executed. Nums of j is equal to 1. Yes, equal to 1. Simply we will increment now j again to here. Okay, now now while loop will not run. We will come out of the while loop because j is greater than k and this condition not satisfied, so it comes out, and the final array it will give us this. Okay, means this only our final array output is given. Okay, so you can see here this output and this output is same. So this was very easy approach. So let's see how can we code it on Leetcode. Okay, so let's go on Leetcode. Let's see the code. First we will initialize I equal to 0, j equal to 0, and n equal to nums dot length of array. Okay, and k equal to n minus 1 means at the last pointer. Okay, so we will here while loop use here less than equal to k. In this we will check here condition if nums of j equal to 0, we will swap the nums array of I comma j. Okay, and we will simply increment I and simply increment j. Okay, then we will use here else if nums of j equal to 1, then simply increment j. Okay, and last one, else swap nums comma j comma k. Okay, and simply decrement the k because k is the last pointer, and simply we will create here one swap function, public void swap integer, this is nums. Okay, and int x comma int y. Okay, these are the two elements. Then we will use here 3 steps of swapping numbers. This swapping of two numbers, this is an very easy, you also know it. Int temporary variable. Okay, then we will make here nums of